The best albums by legendary metal bands. Let's get into this. So number 23 is Number of the Beast by Iron Maiden. This was Iron Maiden's first album with Bruce Dickinson and is evidence to the power and might of the then blossoming new age of British heavy metal movement and what it was capable of becoming. Containing some of the most enduring hits, this 1982 classic, the potency of it hasn't diminished over the 4 and so decades since its release. At number 22, it's Among the Living by Anthrax. These thrashers delivered a career-defining album with Joey Belladonna fully entrenched as a singer, rather than just rushing in an emergency hire that was just rushed into the studio with a lyric sheet, racing against time during the Straining Against the Disease recording sessions. Among the Living expanded the limits of thrash they find elsewhere, like San Francisco's Bay Area, Los Angeles, Germany, and so on, as the melodic hooks collide with crossover thrash to create enduring, memorable, and perhaps fun songs. Hi guys, I hope you're enjoying the video. I just wanted to share a brief quote about individualism briefly. The individualist is a man who says, "I will not run anyone's life, nor let anyone run mine. I will not rule nor be ruled. I will not be a master nor a slave. I will not sacrifice myself to anyone, nor sacrifice anyone to myself." That quote was by Anne Ryan. And the purpose of me sharing with you that quote is that we all love heavy metal. But that being said, we're not all gonna like the same albums, songs, or bands. So with that being said, please be respectful in the comments down below. I'm all for freedom of speech, but one thing I will not tolerate is abusive language. Now on with the video. Number 21 is Crack the Sky by Mastodon. This album truly points to where Mastodon wanted to go musically. The early riffs are still present and the progressive aura has been refined, and that's something Mastodon has never lost touch of. And number 20 is Ace of Spades by Motorhead. For those who understand Motorhead, they will know that they are far, far from a one-hit wonder. This album is lit with all other all-timers and presented an amusing dynamism that prevents the trio from operating the same track that many perceive them to. And number 19 is Paranoid by Black Sabbath. Songs like Iron Man and War Pigs and the title track transcend the heavy music Sabbath helped to give rise to. While lyrically on the album, it tackles complex issues such as politics, mental health, and addiction. And number 18 is Holy Diver by Dio. How can one man have so much magic? I've shown his worth with Elf. When James Dio landed the gig as a frontman in Rainbow and fronted 3 albums, then bounced over to Black Sabbath and helped to revitalize their career with 2 albums, and then formed his own band, Dio. And in Dio, he released Holy Diver, and this helped continue his streak. Number 17 is The Bleeding by Cannibal Corpse. Anything deemed accessible by this band would seem weird, but by definite Ozone standard, the band's final album with the influential vocalist Chris Barnes just feels appropriate. While Hammer Smash Face may be one of the best death metal songs out here, The Bleeding proves that hit making truly brutal music isn't just some stroke of luck. Just listen to Staring Through the Eyes of the Dead. And number 16 is The Satanist by Behemoth. After fighting for his life after being diagnosed with a serious illness, Behemoth returned with renewed strength and aspiration. This album is evident that oftentimes elusive muse is always out there, no matter how old you are or what you're going through in life. And number 15 is Images and Words by Dream Theater. While non-extreme metal was expressing itself in deepening waters, Dream Theater has seemed to pull off one of the most likely feats of that time period. Grunge was a necessary reaction to the aggression of 80s metal and the excess of the decade's hair metal movement, meaning the chances of a mind-numbingly complex prog metal band finding success and finding it quick was out of the question. But like the genre's forefathers Rush, Dream Theater helped it crafted intricate but undeniably consumable songs on this album, which has been the not-so-secret source to commercially viable prog music. Number 14 is Epicus Doomicus Metallicus by Candlemass. This Swedish doom metal band are overly seen as truly kickstarting the doom metal genre, using the inspiration of Black Sabbath as their compass, particularly in their riffs. And their debut album has long been a benchmark of doom metal, varying low slung guitar parts and sloth-paced drumming with themes of hopelessness, despair, isolation, and longing, and a shade of mysticism which would be expanded upon later on with singer Messiah McCollin. And number 13 is Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2 by Halloween. This is an album that pretty much is the blueprint for what is seen as power metal. Like Iron Maiden hopped up on the classical guitar, underpinned by adrenalized double bass and tumbling fills, this genre displayed the flashy elements of heavy metal. What stands out about Keeper of the Seven Keys Part 2 is how advanced Halloween's members are at an early age. The title track, of course, is the most deserving of praise, a genuinely epic composition with a spellbinding tale behind it. And number 12 is Master of Puppets by Metallica. It could be argued that Metallica's major debut on a record label changed heavy metal forever. Master of Puppets immediately was evident that aggressive music had widespread appeal, and dozens of other thrash and like-minded metal bands were being signed up by big-time labels. But none of them quite had the success like Metallica, who are the exception to just about every rule in the music industry. But nonetheless, this masterclass in songwriting has pushed thought-provoking lyrics to a more mainstream audience. Number 11, it's With Odin on Our Side by Amon Amarth. With this album, Amon Amarth peeled back some of their more steely death metal elements. This band embraced just a bit more of the rock and roll song formula that resulted in mammoth hits and a new sonic chapter for this Viking positive band. It was also released 2 years from the big metalcore explosion, and Amon Amarth pretty much just going off the popularity of extreme music with catchy songs. Alright, stay tuned for part 2, but in the meantime, like, comment, subscribe, and let me know how you would rank these albums so far. I'll be seeing you in part 2.